Hey, welcome back to SFGMC TV. My name's Mitch Galli, and I am the Associate Artistic Director for the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. And this is episode 6, the final of 6 lessons for our curriculum Outside Voices, which has been done in collaboration with the It Gets Better project. Today is the day. Today is the day that you let the world see the artivist that you have become. It is the final touches. For those of you that may have forgotten what you have just become, what is an artivist? An artivist is someone who is an activist that uses their art as a way of speaking out about something that they are passionate about. You are telling your story. So today's lesson, you have 2 ways of going about how you want to navigate it. You can either do another round of edits like we did in lesson 5, which I'll step you through in a moment, or you can, if you feel like you're ready to go, you can record your video and get it ready to be posted and shared with the world. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so you have 2 different options now in how you want to execute the remainder of this lesson. Your first option is to do another round of edits like you did in lesson 5. You can either go back to lesson 5 and just rewatch those steps and repeat them to get a more refined and finalized version of your performance, or you can keep listening and I'll give you a quick step-by-step and how you can go through those 5 easy steps. Now, if you do this, you have an option of either getting a new observer, someone who has not already given you feedback, or you can use the same person that you used in lesson 5. Either way is totally fine, and both are great options. You also, if you want, can repeat this with multiple people observing. You don't just have to do this one more time. There's no limit to the number of edits. We always can make sure that we're refining and fine-tuning our pieces of art to make them as impactful as possible. Now, let's review these 5 steps quickly. Step 1 is very easy. You just make sure you have a partner, someone who can observe you and give you feedback. Step 2. You are going to perform your performance art piece as if you were full performance for the person that is observing you. Now, a quick reminder, if you are doing this, make sure that if you're doing it virtually, that they can see your entire body so that they can give you feedback as well on your overall performance. For step 3, the person who's observing the performance is going to be taking some notes. After the performance is done, they are going to share with you what they thought the main message of your performance was. Additionally, they also can tell you things that they thought went really well, that they really enjoyed, and also areas where they see room for you to improve, whether it is in your overall performance or specific sections of the performance. For step 4, you are then going to tell them how well their interpretation of the meaning of your story lines up with what you actually intended. Finally, for step 5, you're going to write down and consider next steps on how to continue to improve your performance art piece, whether it be looking at the narrative or looking at the lyrics in ways that you can increase the clarity and messaging as well as the overall feel, whatever it may be, to have the biggest impact on your audience as possible. So that's a quick recap of the 5 steps you can do to go through another round of edits. If you think you got that all set, then instead, we can go through the recording in the editing process. Let's go through that now. All right, we have one final step in this curriculum, but it is a big one. It is the recording of your performance art piece. Now, if you have done either a song or a rap, you have an option of only recording the audio if you would like, or you can record video with it. Now, our preference is that you do record a video with it because we love to be able to see performers emote, and we love to be able to have the visual component in addition to the audio component to get the maximum amount of impact out of your performance. Now, if you decided to do a monologue or a spoken word or slam poetry, we definitely want you to record it because a large portion of your performance has to do with your stage presence and your body language and how you present the performing art piece. So please make sure that you're using video component as well. You have a few options in how you can record things. If you only have a phone, that's a perfect option and you can definitely just use that. If you have other recording equipment, whether it's a microphone or a specific camera that's meant for video, then by all means go ahead and use that as well. One thing to consider if you're using video is what you want to be captured in the screen. So for instance, in this video, you can only see my torso and above. So if I'm doing a performing art piece and a monologue that has me pacing, or you definitely want to see my lower half of my body as well, then I should make sure that the camera is backed up so you can get the entire view of the body. So just think about, with your performing art piece, what makes the most sense. You can also think about what is in the background and how is that impacting or adding to your performance. So choose a part of your house or apartment, or maybe even outside, where you can definitely be working with your surroundings for them to work with you rather than against you. Now, you may not do this in one take. That's okay. To be honest, when I make all of these videos, I do it in many takes. It can be a frustrating process, but part of it that you can look at is every single time that you re-record it, you remind yourself, here's something new that I want to make sure to do even better. So if you just did it in one take and you feel confident, that's fine. But know that most of us, even the professionals in the world, don't get things done in one take often. Usually it takes a lot more than that. So be patient as you go through this process, and remind yourself that it will be all worth it once the world gets to see your performing art piece. One other thing that you should definitely be considering is your volume. So if you do decide to record outside, if there's wind, that's going to make it really hard to hear you. Also, if you're someone who talks really quietly, it will be really hard for the audience to understand the words that you're saying, and we won't be able to fully have the impact of your story because we don't know what you're saying. So make sure that you project and make sure that you really enunciate so we can hear every single word that is coming out of your mouth that you very strategically crafted in your performing art piece. The final thing to think about is your outfit. Choose something that reflects who you are as an individual that's also appropriate to be put online. I think that you're ready to go. The last thing to do now is to record. I'm gonna have you pause this video while you complete your recording, and then we can resume once you're ready and talk about ways that we will share this video so that it's getting into the hands and the ears and the eyes of the world to enjoy your story and to see the artist that you have become. We'll see you once the recording's done. Are you done? Did you finish your recording? If so, you are literally on the final step of the curriculum, and that is to post and share your story with the world. So, we have a few ways of doing this. If you have parental consent, please choose some type of social media platform or all of them, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any of the others that I did not list yet, and you can post your stories. If you do, please make sure to put hashtag Outside Voices SFGMC. Once again, that's hashtag Outside Voices SFGMC. That way we can make sure that we see and hear your story, and potentially we may even share it out for the world and our audiences to see. Talk about becoming hashtag Insta-famous. So, if you don't have parental consent, we still want to hear your story. There is a folder that is hyperlinked in the Uploading Your Performance section on Lesson 6. Use that folder to upload your performance. To help us sort through all of the performances that we receive, we do have a specific way of naming your performance. You will see in the How to Name Your Performance section at the very bottom of Lesson 6, you will first put your first name, and then an underscore, and then your last name, and then an underscore, and then the title of your piece, which you may not have thought about yet. So if you haven't titled your piece, now's the time to do it while you're naming it. Put another underscore, then you'll put the name of your school, another underscore, the name of the city that you're from, another underscore, the name of the state that you're from, another underscore, and then finally the genre that you chose, whether you wrote an original song, or a rap, or a monologue, or a spoken word or slam poetry piece. I know that's a long title, but that helps us learn as much about you as possible so that we can make sure that we fully understand the video that you're presenting. And we can also see how big of a reach and impact this curriculum has had. So, without further ado, Go ahead and upload your piece, whether it's to social media and hashtag us at Outside Voices SFGMC, or upload it to the folder, or you can do both. And it's possible that your teacher may also have a separate folder on how they want you to upload it. So if you're doing this for a class, do what your teacher asks of you, but also if you have parental permission, please also share this on social media so that we can share it and that we can enjoy it and we can celebrate you for being the artivist that you are. And so, all of you beautiful humans, it is bittersweet that I now say this curriculum is officially complete. Congratulations on all the hard work that you've put in over these past 6 weeks. I myself know that I am so proud to have joined you on this journey. I know that you have grown significantly as a performer, as a musician, as an artist, and as an overall human being. Right now, things can be really hard with sheltering in place, and it's important to remember that you continue to make art, continue to share your story, because there is a virtual presence online of people who are desperate to see the art that you've made and to hear the stories and experiences that you have lived through. As we prepare for our final farewell with this curriculum, I have one last request, and that is to please like and subscribe the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus YouTube channel. That way you can stay up to date and see all of the new content and exciting projects that we have lined up on the horizon. You can also visit sfgmc.org to see our new streaming platform called SFGMC TV, which features behind-the-curtain interviews, in-concert performances, as well as a look in the chorus and the various groups inside the chorus, and out in the community and the things that the chorus is doing to connect with the community at large. We miss you. We can't wait to see you again in performance. We're so thrilled that you joined us for this curriculum, and we look forward to seeing your Outside Voices performances. My last piece of advice is to dig down deep and show some strength, courage, and pride so that you can always be using your outside voice. We love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your year. Bye.